Hello, everybody, and welcome to Scoot Friday. I'm Chris, co-founder and Chief Growth Officer at Apollo Scooters. Today, I am joined by just myself. Everyone else is busy. Alwa and Match are in China, looking at a Go production, which actually I'll show you some photos of. It's actually really cool. And we'll be going through just a few updates on everything. I think, again, my goal today is really just to answer questions from the community, and I see there's been a lot of debate, discussion, comments on Facebook and everything based on the Montreal servicing center closing down with New York. And I just want to give a bit of clarification because lots of people are jumping to assumptions. And there's always a reason. There's always a reason of why these business decisions need to be made. And it's actually for the good. So we'll go a bit into that. But yeah, hi, everybody. I see amazing shades. A Pringle is in the comments. Justin, I see Zav. Hi, Zav. And then Chakonix. But yeah, so let's go into it. So what's going on in terms of servicing location? So we started the business in 2019. We always had Montreal. Hey, Austin. Hey, Justin. We always had Montreal as a servicing center. And then as we grew as a company in the last 2 years, we've opened a servicing center in Los Angeles. We've opened a servicing center in New York. And it's been really good. Like, the reality with servicing centers is that you have direct contact and access to all your customers, and you can give a good service. But we want to give them better service, and you want to always be present for every customer wherever they are based in the US or in Canada. So one of those things is, last 4 or 5 months, we've been working to find what's the most efficient way to get everybody serviceability as quick and easy as possible. And we partnered with really good partners. So we partnered with iFix in the US. We partnered with Techie as well in the US. They have over 40 locations. And then we have over another, I think, 40 repair partners, such as in Montreal, Repair and Run, Easy Bike, all these other partners. So yes, we are shutting down a Montreal Repair Center, but not because of like financial performance or anything in that front. It's really just the only way we're going to be able to service our products more efficiently and better is through working with partners who have that infrastructure and operational capacity to do it. You look at the simple things like Apple and companies like they do some of the repairs, but most of the repairs are being done by Best Buy and all these other things like Telus, etc. It's all been outsourced. So any questions on that, I'm more than happy to answer. But please, when you're seeing a post such as that closing down, don't panic. It's got nothing to do. Like, you're still, again, if we're closing it down, it means we have all other options around an area to help you. Just go on our website and look at service locations. Really, really important, because it's just important. Like, we always stand behind our customer, and we're here to help you guys as much as possible. So yes, hi Martin, hi Ralph. We'll get to some questions shortly, don't worry. So other small announcements, we have a Father's Day sale going on all weekend for the US. So you can save up to $500 on scooters. And if you want to buy 2 or more accessories to your scooter, you get automatically 20% off the accessories. And for Canada, we're doubling your amp and for every purchase between now and the weekend. So yeah, the service center I've gone through. What else? So some fun announcements. We've opened up our own fulfillment center in Kansas City in the US. The main goal of this was really to be able to have full control over our fulfillment services. And previously, we were working with companies who did 3PL, which has been great, but it's also just much more like you're just a customer. It's not your own line. So when it's your sort of operation, you have much more flexibility. You have much more control. So yeah, that's going to be a big one in Kansas City, and then shortly in Canada as well. And yeah, so let's go through some of the questions, because I also want to talk a little bit about spare parts and everything as well. Ralph, any new updates on the Polo Lock? Is August still the target date? Yes, it is, Ralph. We'll keep you updated. The next batch is on its way. And we'll send out an email when we have new updates, but it still is August for now. Justin, so I think the Phantom is manufactured in a different factory. Does that affect how the quality control testing is done compared to your own factory floor? Great question, Justin. Correct. We use a different factory for our Phantom. Does it affect? We still do. Like, we still have employees that are hired by Apollo who do the quality control. But overall, of course, there's going to be a difference in quality control when you have full control over everything on the production line, from where the materials are being sourced, who the employees are, how they're managing, like, versus with the other factory, the Phantom, we do mostly just quality control at the end. It's still a level, the rigorous tests and everything that we do on the City, Go, and Pro. But the whole production process is a little bit less, unfortunately. But regardless, the quality of the Phantom's still been great. It's one of our best sellers and less reported damages, but not the same factory floor as the City and the Air. So I've been noticing a lot of posts on the City about stem clacking when the stem is being pushed front to back. Do you know what's going on here? Unfortunately, I'm not too sure, Justin. I don't know if it's a suspension. I'll note this down and ask Elwa. Again, every single iteration of the City is different, and I know it's been addressed, but I really think it's a suspension fault. I don't think it's not a safety issue at all. It really just is a noise, and I think it's something to do with suspension, but I'll note this down and get back to you guys. Hi, Tai Chi. I have two questions. One, the app says the scooter can reach 62 miles per hour. Could you release an unlock update for the beta app to see if the Pro can reach more than 40 miles an hour? Unfortunately, the app, yes, I think it goes up to 100 kilometers an hour when you go on the settings of it, but unfortunately, the Pro cannot go 62 miles an hour. I'm sure it could, and I'm sure Elwa can do some magic with it, and he always plays around with scooters. Even back in the day when we were selling the Apollo Ultra, which is a bit like a 011X, if you're familiar with it, Elwa had modified the whole controller and did all that stuff, and I was a guinea pig to test out the scooter on the Formula One racetrack in Montreal, and I think I hit 110 kilometers an hour on it, and there was like full face helmet, the whole pads, everything else, and that was really scary because at that speed, if a bird hits you or if you hit a pothole or something, you're done. So that's a big one. You just have to be a bit cautious of. But no, the Pro, you can't unlock it. 40 miles an hour is the max for now. There might be some updates coming end of the year with some products, but unfortunately, that's a max. Austin, still on track to have a ProKickstands chargers and Go fast chargers arrive by next week's ship out. Great question. Let me check for you while I'm on here, and I'll get back to you in a second. But with these things, most of the time it is on track. It really just is just a logistical question, right? It's on track, but if something happens with a shipment, if it gets pulled aside for customs clearance, all this stuff can change quite easily, and we don't have too much control over that part, unfortunately. But I'll confirm shortly. Dave Black, the website doesn't say anything about rim Phantom 4 V4X top upgrade, a non-split rim motor for self-leaning tires. I think that's a big sell more than anything else. Yeah, Dave, that's a great question. And this has been a big debate on Facebook as well. So I'm just going to get a drink. It's been a really big thing. So, in all honesty, we have the Phantom V4. The Phantom V4 started production in September of 2023, so last year. Now, we did a few mistakes in which, even though it's a V4, the production year was still on the scooter, saying 2023. So people today getting a V4 are saying 2023 and thinking it's a 2023 version, which is not the case. So that's what it's really important to understand that every single scooter, if you're looking at a V4, the steering design is completely different. So it's much more stable. And then the motors as well are completely different, and there's less maintenance and better cooling systems in the V4 overall. So even though your thing says 2023, it is still an Apollo V4. Some people are getting frustrated on Facebook and everything else. Moving forward, we're going to be changing the whole naming convention just to make sure there's no confusion, but the components are V4 components. We would never sell an Apollo V3 and label it as a V4. That's not what we do. And that's not the way you treat customers. So we had the V4. That was planned to keep going on selling until October, November this year. But surprise, surprise, we got the Phantom V4X that we were planning to launch in November this year. early in Canada. So today we have the Phantom V4 with self-healing tires, which is great. It's really cool. But that came a bit early, which I know can annoy some customers. So in Canada, if you go on a Canadian website, apoloscooters.ca, you'll see the self-healing tires as an upgrade. It costs, I think, $100 more. And it's got the new V8 throttles and self-healing puncture guard technology tires. It is a big sell. It's huge, and again, we just listen to customers over and over again, and that's what they want. They want self-healing tires because they're, just getting annoyed with flats. I understand it. Flats are annoying. It's part of scooter ownership, unfortunately, but all the other scooters have self-healing tires, so the Phantom should have it too. So that is coming to the US probably in end of August, I would say. Right now, we just had the V4 in the US and then the V4X in Canada. Hi, Tai Chi. Could you have the app resend the battery without the subscription service? I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. RESD. Tai Chi, if you can just let me know what you mean by that, I'll be happy to answer. Andrew, sorry if this has been discussed, but can you confirm if newer models of Apollo scooters will have a greater emphasis on repairability connectors? Yeah, great question, Andrew. I think our goal when we started the scooter company, it was the only people buying scooters were the early adopters, the innovators, the really early people who love tinkering with all this stuff. Very quickly after 5 years, we're now in mass market territory. So most people who buy scooters don't want to touch anything. They don't want to do spare tires. They don't want to do connectors, etc. So we've designed, as we go over the years, we designed the scooter as simple as possible for repairability. So like the product Pro, for example, when we launched it last year under the beta program, the motor connectors were actually inside the deck, just to give you an example. That's really annoying, right? Because if your motor dies, you have to open up the whole deck. You have to rip off the glued grip tape, and then you have to unplug the motor for that. So through customer feedback now on the new Phantoms, on new Pros, the connector is actually tucked in the back. So you just need to go, you can just put your hand in, undo the motor, and take the motor off and swap a new motor very easily. So all scooters that we have now, especially on the newer ones, are always pushed through repairability and just easier self-maintenance, because we have all the maintenance kits available on the website, and we want to make sure customers or even repair centers can make it a much easier process overall. So great question there. Austin, instead of a lease program, you guys need an upgrade program. The secondhand market is tough from C to C, but if we send it back to you, you get a percentage credit, you get a refurbished inside. Yes, Austin, I 1000% agree with you. We're all pushing for a upgrade program. It's just the complexity of the upgrade program. So we're still finding ways in which we can. The main part that's hard with scooters is the cost of shipping. That's the most expensive part in the logistics side of it. And then building up a secondhand market is also a bit more tough. Right now, the only way we would open up a upgrade program is if we have a full system that works seamlessly. And what I mean by that is, let's say Austin, you decide to go from a city to a Pro or something. You're going to send your city back to us. We need to make sure we have a repair center ready to do the repairs or maintenance of it, and then put it on Facebook Marketplace or put it on a secondhand market. We're nearly there. I think we're nearly there, and I hope that we're going to launch this upgrade program by early next year. But that is something on the radar that we need to do, and we really want to do. A great question. Important question from Charcologist. Will Apollo keep its prices the same at least until July 10th? I believe it should be lenient enough to keep until 1 month after tariff effects. Great question. For those of you who are not aware, the US has imposed tariffs of 25% on electric scooters as of June 14th. Chat, I don't have an answer for you right now. I can't promise anything. Again, we have, just imagine, right? You're running a business and all of a sudden you have to pay 25% extra to bring the same product that you were selling into the country. You're going to see a whole industry-wide price increase. Everybody from Segway, InMotion, Xiaomi, New, etc. It just depends on how much stock everybody has in stock, and then when that transition is going to be. So I think, to be honest, we will probably do this change July, August, September, somewhere between that. I'm not going to give specific dates, and I can't promise anything. But I would just say if you're looking to buy a scooter and you're planning to do it, I would do it now. And I'm not just saying that to push a sale. I'm generally just saying it because, again, we're running a business and our costs have just gone up by 25%. So you have to do something to pass a little bit of that to the customers, unfortunately, which is really, really tough. Like, anyway, I think it's going backwards, but it's unfortunately the part of economics and reality. Austin, this will give customers with lower budgets a chance to become a customer for life and keep your. I agree, Austin. I agree. Trust me, I love the enthusiasm, and we will do it. But yeah, chat. Are we going to be informed before price increase comes into effect? If so, how many days? I don't know. I don't. I think we're just going to have to do a price increase at some point. I don't think we're going to say last few days to get a price increase, but that's up to the marketing department. But keep your emails there, and we'll let you know for sure. Martin, seriously, more than 40, even 40 miles an hour on a scooter or anything but a well-maintained closed course is a death wish. I agree, Martin. I think, again, but some people love speed. I don't blame you. It's really good. Going at 30 miles an hour, 40 is a bit dangerous, but it depends on your environment. Maybe someone lives on an open highway or, has a really nice flat road that's not busy. And I can understand why you want more speed. Just please always be safe. Wear helmets. That's my number one ask. A full face helmet, especially if you have to pro. You don't want anything to happen with your teeth or anything. It's always important. Sam, hi Sam. Nice to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. Since receiving the Pro, I have multiple LED lights issues. Did require troubleshooting with a Polo from CX. Last attempt in deck strip replacement. Fingers crossed. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, just write to the team. If it doesn't get fixed out, you have my email, so just email me and I'll see what I can do to help. LED strips should be quite easy, but yeah, just let me know. Andrew, the rear fender replacement procedure on a Polo City Pro is why I asked on repairability, totally unrelated. Can you confirm the AWG of the 3 wires on the photos? You say like, Andrew, I'm not an engineer. I wish I could. I can write it down and get back to you. But I would just please ask our support team and I'll give you the answer. But I agree, Andrew. Like, for those of you who haven't done a replacement fender on an Air or City before, it's quite a mission because the cables are connected inside the deck for the light, so you have to undo the deck and then undo the whole thing. Andrew, we're working on that. It's going to be a connector, a simple connector on the back very soon. I don't know which model, but Elwaz emphasizes a lot. Yeah, it's a real pain point. I have that in on my City as well. It's really annoying. Any secrets are you allowed to divulge about any upcoming scoots? I want to ask us every week, Justin. Justin, we really should get you to Montreal to go for coffee and we can share a few things with you. But no, I think right now, just I would say to everybody, sign up for the beta program. If you're on a beta program, you will have access to most of our early product testings. We have some really cool products coming. I would love to share all of them with you right now, and I'm sure Elwa as well. But right now, Elwa and Magic are in China looking at the Go production cycle, and it's crazy. Like the factory, we've never produced this many scooters before, especially like in like a short period of time. And the Go is just the Go has been the best seller. It's been flying off the shelves in Best Buy. It's really like just unbelievable. So it's been a really great product, and I will just focus on that one. So Justin, nothing to share right now, but please sign up to our beta list. That's some really, really cool products that I'm super excited for coming in the next 12 months. Martin, they make these things called motorcycles. They go really fast and are designed to do so. Trust me, I have one. If you want to go over 40, yes, I agree. Even motorcycles, just be careful because whether you're in the right or you're in the wrong, you still get injured or hurt, right? So please just practice caution. Austin, thank you guys so much for the question. This is great. Question on your long-term plan for local service solutions. Now, bike shops everywhere. Apollo should act as the first mover to satisfy local third-party repair partners. Austin, the reality, this is great in theory, but the reality is bike shops and bike enthusiasts overall don't really like scooters. And I've learned that firsthand by going into like when we go and pitch bike shops about repairing scooters and to join the program, they just don't want to look at us. They don't want anything to do with scooters. But I think they're slowly realizing that scooters are growing in popularity, and at a certain point, they're going to have to. So we are working with like Repair and Run that mostly does bikes, and then they open up to scooters, which is great. We were in talks with what was the other one? It was a van service that went around. They were open to it. The only reality is that people want to work like bike shops when they work with bikes. They work with high-end bikes most of the time. So like imagine like a specialized bike where it's $2,000 to $5,000, and a repair on that could cost $200-300. As a scooter with an inner tube, it's like $20-30, and they rather keep the luxury side. I don't know if that's the theory that's why they're not letting scooters come in. But we're expanding our repair servicing network hugely and very fast, and we have some incredible scooter partners on board. So, and they're all going through the third-party repair partner program and testing, etc. So, I'm not scared about selling solutions. I think it's really, really nice. Hi, will there be a City V4 next year? Yes, yeah, definitely. I think again, every year we have an iteration of something. This year we launched, the city's been iterated for 2023. I think it's already been 2024. I think the City V4 is right now, sorry. The city right now is an upgraded for 2024. So that's technically a V4. But every year there's new upgrades and small things, and there will not be a city upgrade until next May at least. It's like the city is phenomenal. Everything about it is, in my opinion, perfect. It's what I use as a daily commuter every day. And I love it. So yes, there will be one, but maybe a bit later on next year with very small upgrades. It won't be a major overhaul. Again, you don't want to change something that's working well. Austin, anyway, I can save all my AMP points to convert to stock once you go public. Thank you. That's a lovely compliment. That could actually be hilarious. I think that could be a really fun way to sort of say, hey, convert your AMPs to shares in Apollo. Justin, as a chief growth officer and with the tariffs coming to play, how much do you think sales will be affected? Would it hurt Apollo? Great question, Justin. The reality is how, like, when you look at this on an economics basis, right? It's like if in a perfect world, tariffs shouldn't really change much. Tariff comes in, every single scooter manufacturer, retailer, distributor, whatever, increases their price by 25% or 10% to sort of to address the tariffs, and people have no choice but to still buy scooters, and I think scooter sales will still be the same. Now, when you go to the reality of it, you would be shocked to see how many retailers or distributors import that products illegally, which is why it gets really, really tough for companies like us, like Apollo. We do everything by the book. Like, again, the last thing you want to do is do something shady and then get caught. It's like so stupid. So what I'm saying, I think Apollo will be affected because we really raised our prices for like on the wholesale side to distributors. And if a company like Apollo, if you're selling Apollo and you're selling, I'm not going to say different brand just for protection, but let's say you're selling Bubbly, right? Like Bubbly scooters. If Apollo increases that price by 10, 15, 25%, and you're a distributor and you can sell Bubbly for the same price and make more margin, I would choose the one with more margin. That's again, it's still a big enough margin to change. So I think overall it will hit it quite badly, and unfortunately, it depends who's playing by the game. And I hope the US has strong enforcement of duties and strong punishments to make sure everybody is respecting it. But the reality is there's a lot of companies out there that are bringing in scooters illegally, which is not great. So it's not really a level playing field, especially Amazon. You look at Amazon in the US, like all these scooters are coming straight from China or straight from somewhere else, and if they get sued by the US, they just shut the company and they're fine, right? We can't do that, unfortunately. Austin, don't need to be bike shops, go to auto repair shops, send someone like Peter from New York to train them on the Apollo services. Only takes up a small footprint in the shop close to train stations. Yeah, great point. I agree. I completely agree. And that's what we want to do more and more. Just getting any repair shops that can do something similar to scooters, and scooters are not really complex in terms of fixing them, whether it's cars, laptops, smartphones. You just need a proper trainer and a proper system, which the team has been developing for a long time. Okay, guys, so we have a few questions here, and I have 2 minutes, so let's power through these. Justin, bike shops are harder because of the electrical components, not just tire repair. Bike shops don't have any expertise with those things. I agree, and that's why we don't want to push anybody to a bike shop unless they've gone through the Proto Satisfied program. Once they go through our program, they will know exactly how to repair everything. Or even if they don't, like our system is amazing. Like you just go on it. It's like a YouTube library, and you can put like change this. And once you push change this, you have the full video in 3 minutes to show how it is. So super simple. Okay, looks like the Polo A10 will be the City V4, I guess. Not necessarily. Where do you get A10 from? The A11 is the next one that's coming out, and then A8, but A10 is sort of potentially in a year or 2 years. Austin, just feedback for future models. I will never buy another scooter without a native quad lock display on it. Thank you, Austin. Don't worry, we won't launch another scooter without it. Ayaz, watching from Tesla. Haha, that's really cool. Thanks for watching. Please keep your eyes on the road. But that's great. With the tariffs, you will no longer, once you have a trade-in program, lease program, you will need it. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be tough. As a bike folk, I even have a hard time getting my pedal assisted bike whacked on, though it's a brand, because they all see an electric aspects and figure that it's still a bicycle. Yeah, I agree. They're not. Yeah. Again, bikes are complex. Everything's complex. Very quickly, tariffs will impact sales in that people would put off or choose other recreational products or commuting options. People may also choose less expensive base products. Yeah, but bikes also have high tariffs, Martin. So that's a reality. Why bikes are much more expensive than scooters. I don't know what exactly the rate is in the US, but that's a big cause. Ayaz, have you thought about making scooters in North America instead? I would love, we've thought about it, we've gone through programs. Reality is cost is way too high. I think if we were to do it, it would be like Vietnam or Mexico, but Canada and US is just, unless you have enormous government support and funding, you're not going to be a profitable business, unfortunately. Photos by Ignacio. As for getting screws whacked on, good luck. You might get someone who really wants a challenge, but in reality, they don't want a headache. Exactly. I had your park. Thank you. I got my first ever Proto scooter, City Pro, but it came with an all kickstand. So I mean, just contact the team on this, and I think we'll, again, the new kickstands are just an upgrade, and I'm sure the team will send you one. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for today. I was a bit scared that we wouldn't have enough questions for half an hour for me alone, but you guys absolutely killed it. Thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or anything else on service centers or any parts, we can also focus on that in the next live next Friday. But again, overall, thank you again for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Ride safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.